Hello, everybody. My name is Luchara, and this. Oh, hey, Calorie. How's it going? So today we're going to talk about oil drilling, but I set all this up yesterday. I was really proud of my setup, and I just realized, 2 minutes ago, that it doesn't work, or it partially works. It's going to need to change. Um, but for anybody who's been an oil driller, which I know you have, Calorie, you don't need this, but I'm going to kind of actually, is Monkey Prime watching the stream? Are you out there, Monkey Prime? Anyway, if anybody doesn't know how to do oil drilling and is curious, this is for you. Oh, actually, let's try. I'm going to try to get Monkey Prime to join the stream. Hey, Ross, how you doing today? So, oil drilling in eco. All right, let's look at the map. So, you can put one of these pump jacks literally anywhere on the map, and you will get oil. It's just how fast you'll get oil. So let's look at the map. Let's bring up the oil field thing. So what you want light, you want white, you want yellow. That's why I have my pump jacks right here. This is probably the best oil spot. Hey Thorgrim, how you doing today? Probably the best oil spot in the world. This would be a good one as well. This would be a pretty good one. Who has a claim here? Monkey Prime. All right, because Monkey Prime is the other oil driller. So, but you can put a pump jack anywhere and you will get oil. It's just how much. So, thing with oil. So let's just look at, actually, do I want to back up? So yeah, let's talk about barrels first. So the first thing you need to do is you need to make barrels for oil. It is made at the electric machinist table, which is made by somebody with industry. It needs to be in a tier 3 workshop. This is like the bare minimum size that you can get away with for one of these. So yeah, 45 cubic meters at a 48, so it just barely fits. I guess it's not the bare minimum. Technically, it could be literally 45 at a 45, but it's close. They take modern upgrade modules, and all you can make here is barrels. There's a ton of other stuff that mechanics and industry and electronics people can make. That's not us. That's all we can make is barrels. Hey, Punch, how you doing today? What's up? So barrels just take iron. So it's 1-to-1. I do have the modern upgrade one, so 10% less. So if I make 10 barrels, it should cost me 9 iron, right? I'm doing pretty good. Although I just realized my oil setup is not, it's kind of not working. So you make barrels here, empty barrels, obviously. So then your empty barrels get turned into full barrels at your pump jacks. So see, I have 300 barrels. So see how it says it's 1 minute and 3 seconds, basically, to turn an empty barrel into a full barrel. This is where the quality of your oil spot matters. So like here, for example, it's only 40 seconds because it's a little more, right in the heart of it, I guess. But a minute 3 is really good still. But let's just, for the sake, but here's where the problem is. So only these two, and these two, they're the only ones close enough to reach that stockpile up there that has my barrels. These other 6 don't reach the stockpile. Obviously my pump jacks can't really move. I need my pump jacks to be here, so I can either build a platform for a stockpile, or I can move these wheels and put the stockpile here. I don't know. Yeah, Punch says make a roof. I didn't realize this till right before I started stream, because I did all this. I set all these out yesterday, and I didn't check that. So I think I set them out, and then I put the stockpile up there. But just for science, so I'm just going to pick one of these up. I'm going to put it over here. Obviously, this isn't even claimed by anybody. But over here, for example, it would take 8 minutes and 44 seconds to fill a barrel with oil. So, like I said, you can put a pump jack anywhere, and you will get oil. They're also infinite resources. They don't ever go down. You'll always get the same. But that just shows how much faster, how much more oil you can get in a good spot. You're looking at 40 seconds versus 8 minutes. And this is that, like, there are worse spots than this. Like if we go even further over to even darker colors over here, find somebody's property here. No, I'm not. I should be able to put one here, shouldn't I? There. It's 14 minutes. 15, almost 15 minutes over here. So that's why you want to get on a good oil spot. Now, like I said, you don't need this good. The spot where Monkey's at, well, for example, which was somewhere right here, would be fine. The spot out in the water would be pretty good as well. I do have the best spot. I did use my admin privileges, I guess, to some degree, getting the best oil spot. So once you have full oil barrels, that's when the refinery comes into play. So yeah, I'll worry about the rest of these. All right, so let's get some actual oil pumping here. So we have 300 barrels. I got 4 pump jacks that actually reach the barrels. So this is oil drilling is very calorie dependent work. You burn through a ton of calories. Like to make these 300 barrels, it took like, I burned through stacks of food. Calorie dependent. Not calorie. Calorie. I need vitamins. Man, I'm really short on vitamins. The fact that I need to jump to get over here is also, it's also less than ideal, to be fair. I should probably. So yeah, I'm going to come up with something, but I won't worry about that on stream. Vitamins. Why don't I have these in a stack? And one more, we'll get it going here, and then I'll show refinery. So these need electrical power. They're 100 power a piece. So if you have 10 of them like I do, that's 1,000 power. One of these steam engines do 1,000 power. I do have a second steam engine. I'm not using it. I guess it was calorie dependent because Calorie did the research. You're right, Black and Out. Because the table over here that makes the barrels, it uses 250 power, I think. Yeah, 250. So if I want to have all 10 of those going and this going, I would need the extra power. So also the refinery needs water. So I just got a, mechanical water pump, pulling up water, going to the steam engines, going to the refinery. So the refinery, that's turned off right now. You can make epoxy, nylon, plastic, synthetic rubber, gasoline. So you'll notice for epoxy, for example, it takes 4 barrels. I do have Modern Upgrade 1 in here. It takes 4 barrels to make 2 epoxy, but you get 3 barrels back. So it's basically 1 barrel. So what you really want to do is, like, I queued up enough here to use the barrels I had, but what you really want to do is you want to, I'm in no rush to make this stuff because, and correct me if I'm wrong, none of this stuff is needed yet, right? Like until composites, I know composites is almost done, right? But until composites and electronics are done, none of this stuff is actually needed. You queue up a bunch here, your full barrels get turned into empty barrels, and then you turn them back into full barrels, and you just goes back and forth, right? 20 seconds on composites, there you go. Eventually you'll run out of barrels though, right? Hey Krogsgard, how you doing today? But it can take quite some time, especially if you have the best upgrade module in here, which I don't. I only have Modern Upgrade 1. You basically only burn like half a barrel, right? Which is good, obviously. So also this burns coal. So I have charcoal instead of coal. I also have charcoal in my power things, my steam engines, because, I make charcoal, so it's a little easier for me. But this is why I use charcoal. So I had 200 in here, so I burned 42 charcoal. So if I had coal in here, because coal only stacks to 20, it'd be empty already. It would already be empty. So, Monkey, if you're still watching, listening, I would recommend making yourself some charcoal because you're also a logger, right? It just lets you like kind of fire and forget these things. You can just queue up a bunch. That's why I have this ice box. This ice box here strictly to give me calories to do oil drilling stuff, right? But like I said, the whole thing's gonna need to change. Um, oh, one thing to note: gasoline, you don't get any oils back. So generally, I don't like to stock a lot of gasoline because it's kind of annoying to make because you lose all your barrels. But yeah, I hate burning wood for charcoal too, but unless you really, it depends too. Like I guess you're on a fair amount, but it's nice to just queue up enough for hours and you don't have to worry about it because you'll burn through your coal like in like less than 2 hours if you're if your refinery's running constantly. Some people like to use more than one refinery. I don't. I'm a one refinery guy. Plus, I don't have space for another one in my current setup. Obviously, I could change that. Also, refineries do make sewage. I am going to figure out a way to get a waste filter hooked up to this at some point. I just haven't yet. I guess I could probably pipe it down and have the waste filter down there. I could build maybe, I don't know. How tall are waste filters? Why is there hewn logs down there? Yeah, I could probably fit a waste filter down here. I'll have to mine out some granite. But yeah, I'm gonna have to build a roof. They're 4 high. Okay, never mind. Waste filter will not fit there if they're 4 high. Why can't I get out? Thank you. So I did this yesterday afternoon or yesterday evening. I set all this up. And I was so proud of the setup too. And 6 of these don't reach the stockpile. But I want to make sure I want this thing to still reach the stockpile though. So yeah, if I put it right over the pumps, I might have to like move this over to where the icebox is. I might have to move the icebox. The icebox doesn't need to be in here. It can be out here somewhere. Right? But yeah, so I'm hoping today's stream goes fine. My eco has not been performing well lately. It's fine right now. It's fine if I stay around my house or whatever. But as soon as I travel, I find my eco just starts using like all my RAM. And it's not good. And does anybody else have this? When you go to close eco when you're done for the night, does it take like 2 minutes for your eco to actually close? Like 2 or 3 minutes? Or is it just me? I don't think it's the server. I don't think it's my internet. I think it's eco. Okay, it does for you too, Punch? Okay. Not 2 minutes, but noticeably longer. Takes forever. Takes a bit. Okay, good. At least 4 of you agree, so it's not me. So I want to go show, like, I want to go to my tree farm, which I did yesterday afternoon. I want to go show it. Like I said, it's fine if I just stick around my house, but as soon as I go travel the server, it gets bad. But I want to go show my tree farm. So let's go do that. I do need to redo my whole store. Like, I make lumber. There's no reason for my house to not be made of lumber right now. But I guess at this point, I might as well wait for composites. Ooh, but if I'm doing composites, this room needs to grow significantly because I'm pretty sure the advanced carpentry table needs a tier 3 room. So I'm going to have to hollow all this out and make a big room because I'm going to want at least one advanced carpentry table, right? Probably 2. Problem is, yeah, it should still reach the store because it's just going to use that stockpile, right? Should be all right. All right. Let's go up to the tree farm. Stopping to show some of the active player builds as we go. This Bison's having a bad day. Are you dead, buddy? No? Okay, you're just sleeping with your head in the ground? Okay, that's good. You're not a what is it? Is it ostriches? The birds that bury their head in the sand? You're not an ostrich, man. All right, so here's Ishmael's place. I think he's still active. Ishmael gets very busy with work sometimes, so you never know. Then, but he is a tailor, as you can see by the loom over here. How's his stock right now? He still has some stuff in stock. Fair bit of stuff in stock, actually. All right, moving on. Look at my pollution happening. Yeah, so this river is gonna be, yeah, it's not gonna be good. Sorry. Pollution is a necessary evil in this game. Yeah, I find sometimes placing stuff can be tricky. This server, for some, like dirt, placing dirt down, it doesn't go where I want it to. All right, so we have Cypher Wolf's Place, aka Alex's Restaurant. Looks really good. I love the little restaurant over here. Really, oh, nice. The cozy corner here. Very cozy corner. Nice. You got the deck up here. Although I don't know if you're watching. Yeah, I don't know if you're watching Cypher Wolf, but I don't know. A fully loaded truck, like not steam truck, but the truck, isn't a fully loaded truck higher than a steam truck? Because I have concerns that I don't think a truck is going to fit under this. A fully loaded truck once we get to the trucks, right? Like that's not going to fly. It will hit. That's what I thought. Like a fully loaded steam truck fits. It's tight, but it fits. But a truck is not going to fit. So yeah, I agree, Monkey Prime. And obviously, Cypher. I think Cypher's like West Coast. I think Cypher Wolf is sleeping right now. So whose little store is this? Griffin's Coal Hub. Okay, I think Griffin went. I feel like I haven't seen Griffin on in a few days. Yeah, almost 3 days. So Griffin was trying a no skill run. He was planning to mine without the mining skill and sell the raw stuff, obviously, because Griffin's Coal Hub. But obviously Griffin's been busy. It happens. And I want to say, if you're playing on my eco server and life gets busy or you get burnt out, do not feel any obligation to keep playing. It's fine. Just, when you're ready to come back, if it's next server or a few days later, come back then. Don't worry. I don't hold it against anybody if you need to take a break. Yeah, see, it's already starting to get a bit laggy. I'm assuming this is Phil's house, right? Yes. This is Phil's house across the road from Phil's workshop. Oh, he's got the tier 3 stuff coming in now. So for anybody who doesn't know, you can get all your basic upgrades here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Although it does bother me that we didn't do it 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. It works. That's the important thing. So Phil's Mechanics Workshop is made with tier 2 materials, but Phil's going industry and I assume electronics. I don't know, but I assume electronics, which needs a tier 3 workshop. Which is this. This should be big enough. You do need quite a bit of space. What? 12 hours. But I'm assuming, and Calorie could tell me for sure, I doubt electronics research has been done, right? I assume, because that's probably the last research you'll be doing, I imagine. At any rate, I will try to make sure I have oil products ready for you, Phil. What else? Advanced masonry probably isn't done either. Is that it? Just advanced masonry and electronics left? Advanced masonry next. Yeah, and our advanced smelters have been putting most of their steel towards rebar, which of course goes to reinforced concrete, so that people can make their tier 3 workshops. But I feel like at this point, I don't know if any of the advanced smelters are watching, should probably start trying to make more steel bars and electronics and all done. Yeah, we're probably not going to bother doing cutting edge cooking. I maybe queue it up, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over cutting edge cooking being done or not. So yeah, so my tree farm, I'm kind of disappointed. I mean, it's going to work. It's fine, but I'll explain why I'm disappointed here. And once we get here, which I'm pretty much here. So this is Luch's tree farm, complete with some animals. Apparently, we got an elk and we got a bison. So I just got a bunch of cedar, a bunch of birch. They take the same amount of time to make. One's hardwood, one's softwood, right? And they'll be done in about 4 days, 98.1 hours. So here's why I'm disappointed though. So if you see this one, area around the cedar has enough space, right? I'm disappointed, but I also think maybe there's no reason for me to be disappointed. So it's 120 hours when it's maxed. I finished this yesterday afternoon. What's weird to me is if I go to this one, or let's say this one, it says this one is very overcrowded, but it still says it's the same amount of time. So does anybody know what being overcrowded means? Because it doesn't affect the maturity rate. So what does it affect? It doesn't affect anything, because the whole reason I did this and I turned these into roads, and then like underneath, I turned all this into roads. I did all this so that no plants would grow here, so they would not be overcrowded. But now they're still overcrowded, right? Probably. But what does the dirt have to do with it, Punch? Sorry, I missed. So anyway, I guess what I'm asking is, what does overcrowding even do? Does it matter? Like, and if I really don't want overcrowding, I guess I would just have to put more space between them. I should probably also put some pillars here so this isn't a giant floating platform. Although, because giant floating platforms do bother me, but like nobody's ever going to see this, right? Except for right now. There's really not a reason for anybody to be back here or under here. But I'm just like, dirt from the road, been a lot of car traffic on that dirt, so it's probably polluted. But I still don't understand what that has to do with overcrowding, though, Punch. Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, let me up. So yeah, so I guess I wasn't expecting them to be overcrowded still. And it's just like, yeah, I'd have to test it. Because like if you go to this one in the corner, for example, this one's not overcrowded, or it wasn't earlier. This one has enough space. And then I think on top of enough space, there's also ample space. Oh, so I'm still going to get full yield from these, which is 50. But eventually, this setup won't even yield. Man, they basically completely killed tree farms. You used to be able to build, like, you needed one space between trees back in the day. So how much space are you going to need to do? So like this one has enough space because it's on the edge, right? Whereas this one, well, now see, why does this one have enough space? I don't understand. Okay, well, what about you? Okay, so I somebody explain to me why this one has enough space, but this one doesn't. Not only that, but it's like it goes from enough space to very overcrowded. Surely there's like something in between, right? Because I mean, like there's 3 in between these, right? Then there's 5 here so that I can drive my truck down. No, Damo. This is the underneath. I made 100% sure there was nothing growing underneath whatsoever, right? Which took me like a long time and a lot of stone whetstones to repair my stupid stone road tool. I guess that's my issue is I took all this time to do all this and some of them are still randomly overcrowded, right? Spread of the branches, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, anyway. Whatever. It is what it is. Looks like I missed some debris. Anyway, in 4 days, I'll have a bunch of trees cut down. That's the important thing, I guess. Yeah, as of right now, overcrowding doesn't really seem to do anything. So in retrospect, I wish I wouldn't have taken all the time to do all that stuff down there that I did. Right, I guess, is the moral of the story. And originally I was planning to do like cedar, birch, like alternating. But then birch and cedar need very similar conditions to grow, but they're not identical, which I didn't realize. I thought they were the same. So if you look at cedar, so cedar grows anywhere in this white, right? But birch, very similar, but whatever's different in this one patch in the middle, it's fine for cedar, but not for birch. So I had to put all my cedar at this end, right? Basically. Anyway, they're very similar in their conditions, but cedar's a little easier. I probably should have just done a tree farm here somewhere, but a bunch of people have claims in here because I mean, this is my house. The old tree farm is a ways away from my house. Yeah, I wouldn't think any of these branches would have spread enough yet, but you might be onto something, Russ. I don't know. I'm gonna assume this one's overcrowded. And this one's probably overcrowded. What about this one? Yeah. So all these ones in the middle are overcrowded. Anyway, that's what I did yesterday. Yesterday I had a splitting headache yesterday. I didn't feel like streaming, but I was like, I need to get this tree farm done. I need to get this oil set up ready to go. So that's what I did yesterday. All right, so let's continue going this way and check out Nobro's place, Monkey Prime's place, Thorgrim, Tarud, Kitty, Punch all live in this neck of the woods. This is Nobro's place. I like the water wheels with the little frame to hold them in place. Drive around here. The bridge. So where does the road district actually go here? Okay, so it goes down here and here. So yeah, this the actual road is actually not in the road district. I've been meaning to ask Kitty about that name, Dark Val Valley. Does because to me, Val is like short for valley, right? So it would be like Dark Valley Valley. But maybe Val is meant to be something else, and I don't know. I don't think Kitty's here because Kitty would probably be in chat if she was. All right, so here's Nobro's place. This is his engineering shop, basic engineering. Then you go over here. You got his mechanic shop, which I can't get into because the doors are closed, but that's fine. You can see it there. You can see his machinist table and stuff. I don't know. Has anybody talked? Is Nobro planning to do industry and electronics too? I wonder. Yeah, Kitty definitely named it. I'd have to talk to Kitty. I think Nobro's been on. I think Nobro was on earlier today, right? Yes, 5 hours ago. Because I think as of right now, Phil is the only industry in electronics. And not that I don't think you can do it, Phil, but stuff like that, it's always good to have a second person just in case. Take some of the pressure off you. There's enough, both of you would get enough business. Because yeah, I know what it's like to be like, well, not necessarily the only one, but like when you're like the main industry electronics person, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of requests from people. All right, I don't know if I've been down to Monkey Prime's place. Definitely not on stream, but yeah, you can see my game's starting to chug a bit. You got your water wheels in the waterfall. Do they give extra? I think they give extra power when they're in a waterfall, right? Ooh, you got a nice lumber spot up here. Ooh, white bricks. Yeah, I'm really surprised. I don't know, maybe people don't realize it, but we have the colored blocks mod, which means colored glass, colored bricks, colored reinforced concrete. Really surprised there's not that much colored bricks this one. And I'm not saying there isn't any, there's some. But like I feel like the first couple times we used it, everybody had painted bricks. I guess maybe it was a novelty then, and now it's not really a novelty anymore. Double power and waterfalls, yeah. Um, what's your housing bonus, monkey? Because this is quite a house. Let's just say it's higher than my 24.6, I'm pretty sure. 72.4. Yep. That is higher. Oh, something's work in progress there, I would say. Yeah, I'm slacking on my housing bonus. You're capped at tier 2. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Storage down here. More storage. Oh, got to kill. Oh, there's the man himself. What's up, Monkey Prime? And we're oh sweet. So you can they are connected. Nice. Thumbs up. That's a nice house. Yeah, I've my housing bonus has been 24.6 for quite some time because I was busy working on the stupid tree farm. I guess I just the amount of work I put in doing that, I feel like it's not going to be worth it. I'm probably going to get like 2 harvests out of it. I don't know if that's going to be worth the effort that it was. You know what I mean? Here's a little bits, little wheat farm. I don't think I've seen. Oh my god, I'm starting to lag bad. There's some frame drops for you folks. I don't think I've seen a little bit lately. Oh, 1 day, 3 hours ago. That's actually not as long ago as I thought. I would have guessed even longer. That's also little bits, I think. Or is it? Yes. I do like that though. It's a nice little tier 1 store building. Well, they got all lumber here. Yeah, I guess they've a little bit's definitely played lately. Trying to think what server 8 I think a little bit played on a lot. I think yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to mentally, you know, keep the servers separate in my mind, but man, it gets hard. I want to say it was server 8 a little bit played a lot. All right, and then we have Mr. Punch. Is oh, don't be throwing any stones in your from your glass house, Punch. So the reason for anybody who's curious as to why this is like this, Punch obviously took the perk that machines work twice as fast if they're in their own room. So he created a room for each machine so that he could get the speed bonus, right? For anybody who's wondering why that's like that. I mean, I'm assuming. Speaking of perks, I can take the. All right, so doubles the speed of related tables when alone. Increases cracking speed of related tables when I share a room with the same tables. All right, so how does this work with oil drilling? Because I mean, most of my stuff is outside, right? The only table I have that's inside, take single. Yeah, because my the one that makes barrels is inside, and I just have one. Yeah, man, they got to work on some. They got to some of these perks. Well, that's not to mention logging. This perk does work in progress, no functionality yet. Both of them. There's two of them, two options, and both of them are work in progress, no functionality yet. Like I try to avoid just complaining about the devs, but I just don't know how you can justify base tracking software or adding like the stupid eating animation when you have basic perks for basic skills that are still work in progress. I just don't understand that. And look, I don't work in software. I'm not a game developer. That just baffles me. And we got Punch's house over here. The pumps work for single. Oh, okay, nice. I have not seen my tunnel to you. All right, I'm gonna go check out Tarud and Thorgrim and Kitty's place, Punch, and then I will go back home via that tunnel. Or wait, can I go through that tunnel? Oh, you mean it's gonna kill you. Hey Latoro. I thought you meant I'm gonna kill you because you did something wrong, but I see now you're saying this tunnel's gonna drive you insane, is what you're saying. You always take the focus workflow when you do oil. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I mean, I've done oil drilling more than once before, but not recently. I'm trying to remember when's the last time I took oil drilling. It's funny. I took oil drilling in server 1, server 3, and server 4. And I think this is the first time I've done it since. Wait, I can't get through it right now? You're still so confused on that talent for oil drilling. Yeah, well, the other one too specifically mentions in a room, and you know, you have 3 different tables, right? You have the one where you make your barrels, you have your pump jacks, you have your oil refinery. The only one that's probably going to be in a room is the one that makes the barrels, right? So it makes no sense. But I'm not surprised with this game. I did an 8? Did I? Just trying to remember. Well, so 8? No, I don't think I did an 8 punch. Unless I took it late just to help out. I mean, electric machinist table, it's a lot of things. It's technically, if you look at, okay, I'm gonna min command in a table and then I'm immediately gonna destroy it, just so I can show this. I mean, I guess I could wait till I get home where I actually have one, but so a good way to see what tables aren't tied to one profession necessarily. If you go into a table, oh my god, my game is lagging bad right now. If you go into a table and you go into modules, any module that's accepted technically means that table is for that profession, right? So technically the electric machinist table is an industry table, it's an electronics table, it's a mechanics table, and it's an oil drilling table. I'm pretty sure. But that's my impression of how it works. Okay, so I'm trying to think, Punch. All right, so server 5, one where you were really AFK. So that was 7. Where you were really AFK, where you lived like up like in the north, and there wasn't many people there, but like Kitty and Edible and like Deanie were up there. There was a few people. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, you're right. I was in 7. I remember where my oil drilling platform was now. Yes. So I haven't done it since server 7. All right, so Trudin's place, Windhurst Mills. I've already talked about how much I like the windmills. He's got the fields right in his front yard. I love the wall, and he took the road tool to make these look like this. I am a fan of Trudin's builds. Nice use of clay as well. Like this is all just basic materials, right? But he made it look good. Now we go over here. Where do they leave my truck? Is this my truck? Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's a good spot for it. Yeah, I think it's because if it's not in the room, I think smelting works similarly. Um, yeah, don't lose my truck. So, for anybody who doesn't know, yesterday, so Punch is digging out a big tunnel here, or a couple of big tunnels here. And he had a whole bunch of dirt just piled up over here in stockpiles, and I needed dirt for my tree farm. So I was over here getting dirt, and this wasn't claimed at the time. Kitty has since claimed it, but I threw dirt in my truck, and as soon as I threw the dirt in my truck just disappeared. It was gone, right? But if you type steam truck, right, and mouse over, this is a good trick for anybody. If you ever lose your vehicle, you go steam truck, and then you mouse over. There are 24 steam trucks in the world. You find your truck in the list, right, and it'll tell you where it is. You can click on the map, and it'll show you. Now, obviously, right now I know where my steam truck is, so I'll come back to the room thing tomorrow. I just want to tell this story. So we're over here. I'm right here. It says my steam truck's like right here, and I'm like, I don't see it. But there was like a tree kind of like there. So I was like, is my steam truck in a freaking tree somehow? So I cut the tree down. I still couldn't see my steam truck. So I went over to it again. And I looked at the ground. Basically, this board, like this back board of the truck, was sticking out of the ground. So my steam truck was in the ground, like nose down, buried in the world, and just this much was sticking up. And it was just enough that I was able to target it and do a slash free car, and my truck popped up out of the ground. It was a whole thing. I even like logged out and came back, and so the tables. So I'm pretty sure, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, with smelting. Basically, if the machine doesn't need to be in a room and it's outside, it benefits from that focus workflow, I think it's called, right? Yeah, because smelting and advanced smelting, I'm pretty sure are the same. You always take that one. All right, so now we got Thorgrim's nice place. Oh yeah, we got he's trucking in sand from the desert. Actually, he probably made the sand, but got the nice limestone wolf statues here. Grimm's Pottery and Glassworks. Looking very nice. Now, Thorgrim did admit that he needed to step up his game because Trudin was making him look bad, right? But I like how they both went with like the elevated property, right? Like the road's here and you got to take a little ramp up. And, oh wow, this is quite a tunnel. So is this a road tunnel or is this just a tunnel? Oh, this is just Thorgrim's tunnel. Assuming he's taking the granite, crushing it, turning it into sand, and then turning the sand into mortar, probably, since he needs a lot of mortar, since he's a potter and a mason. That's me making a bunch of assumptions, to be fair, but I feel like those are probably fair assumptions. All right, and then we got Kitty's place over here. And, oh, we're turned into a slideshow. Man, I don't know. I don't think it's the server. I think it's just eco. And don't get me wrong, it could be the server, but I feel like the world is smaller. There's less players. I'm using the same host and everything. Like, the server shouldn't be worse. Oh, 19 days for the meteor. That's fine. We're going to get it. Like, the whole thing where eco takes like 3 minutes to close, that would not be server related. That's eco just using every tiny bit of friggin' RAM that I have. Like, look at this. Dark Ball Campfire Cooking closed until further notice. Employee only. I like how it's singular, right? Usually it's employees only. All right, so this is, I said nobody was using colored brick, so Kitty's using colored brick. Normal brick, colored brick. Normal brick, colored brick. Normal brick, colored brick. Anyway, you get the picture. Oh, what's down here? Oh, more employee only doors. Oh, this one you can go into. Oh, this is more coal. So yeah, so this whole, there's a big coal deposit here that's like a public coal mine, but it's not going to be enough to for the whole server, for the length of the server, I don't think. Well, it depends how far down it goes, I guess. Has anybody come here with a rock drill to test to see how far down this goes? Yeah, you do. But just it's like when you log in, the game like, you know, renders that part of the world that you're in, right? If you just stay in that part of the world, the game seems to be fine. Well, when you travel to a different part of the world, it seems like it renders the new part of the world, but it doesn't like remove the old part of the world from like the, I was going to say the queue, but the queue is not the right word. It's like it renders every part of the world that you've seen during that session, right? So the more you travel around, the worse the performance gets. But it only started being bad in the last day or two. There's Darkfall Valley Manor. This tunnel is a road, right? Yes. Yeah, like this is just a tunnel. Like it shouldn't be hard to render. But it is. Anyway. So yeah, this stream is going to be probably 2 hours at the most. See, I think Kitty took mining. I'm pretty sure the bakery's open. I used it this morning, didn't I? Stocked up on food. Yeah, it is. I know she closed to do some to recalculate some prices at one point. Anyway. All right, so can I go through that tunnel you're working on, Punch, or no? And we got the future site of Darkfall Valley Community Park. You don't lag now, so its server's good. I can go, okay. Oh, I can't drive. Well, I'm with my truck. All right, so I'll go show the tunnel because it's a ridiculously long tunnel. You have a few more builds planned for the valley if you have time. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Long term, I'm not sure. This was intended to be a slightly shorter server. Oh, there's a big coal mine there. But as long as people are still playing, I'll leave it up, right? Holy crap, Punch. Oh, is there a road going this way? Oh, Monkey's. This is where Monkey's oil is. Yeah, Monkey's making a path to his oil. Yeah. Ooh, look at all. Oh, there's redwoods here and everything. It's a lot of wood. Turn all this into charcoal, man. That's what I'd be doing. So, yeah, so this tunnel, which, like Punch said, is not drivable yet, it goes all the way up to here, which is my house. It's kind of insane. But yeah, so we'll be shooting down the meteor. What was it, 19 days? So probably 2 weeks from like this past Saturday. Get my calendar up here. Let me get my calendar up on my phone. June 10th, probably we'll shoot down the meteor, I would say. And then don't worry about chopping the redwoods down, the old growth redwoods. It doesn't bother me. What's the height? of this tunnel. Is that what you're asking, Rico? Richard? It's 60. No, I guess it would be 65. 65. There, Majestic. Yeah, I mean there. 65. I guess my face is blocking it. 65, if you can see that. Hydro farm, hydro plant, and a wind farm. Where are you going to find space for that stuff? But yeah, so we'll shoot that meteor probably June 10th. And we can, we can continue playing after that. Server will stay up. But the problem is, or not the problem, the update 10 playtest, public playtest, is supposed to start June 14th. So I expect a lot of people will either just move on from eco in general, or if they're craving more eco, they're probably going to go over to the playtest, would be my guess. I guess what I'm trying to say is past June 10th, or maybe we'll shoot down the meteor a little later than that, but past that, I don't know how many people we're going to have, right? Oh, yeah. Man, I'm lagging bad. Hopefully when I get back home here, I'm going to get back home, check my store stock. Oh my God, this is a slideshow. Slideshow for me too. I should have went the way I came so that I didn't have to render any new parts of the world. And like part of me wants to like just log out and log back in, right? But it takes like 3 minutes to close eco down for me. Right? So what are we gonna do in those 3 minutes? I guess I could talk about something. And then we got like I want to go show, other people's builds over that way. This is Myers' place. Myers got busy, didn't get a chance to really play with us this time. It happens, life happens. Eco's a time sink. Eco's a game that's hard to play casually, right? You can get something done if you just log in for an hour or two at night, but it's hard. It's hard to get a lot done, especially if you're comparing yourselves to other people on the server. Alt F4 and relog. Yeah, let me get back home first. But this is what it's been like for me. It's a little worse, I think, because I'm streaming, right? Because it uses up extra system resources. So you know what? I'm just going to get to this flat wide section. Oh, it's been bad for me lately, man. I don't know what it is. The last couple days. So other people aren't getting it this bad. I mean, my computer's good. I wonder if I have something on my computer that's. So let's see how long before it actually. Like, I can't move, so that is not happening to you for sure. All right, so it must be something on my computer. Maybe I have some malware or something that's taken up a ton of. But if I go into if I go into like my, I alt control delete and I bring up my stats, it always says that eco's taken up all my memory. Anyway, is what it is. We'll close down and hop back in. It just bear with me. It's gonna take a little bit. Actually, I should have got home first. That's fine. Yeah, the more I travel, the worse it gets. And the other thing is like, so pretty much all the advanced smelters live far away from me. In some of them I guess Weld Wide's probably the closest, but like, so if I go to my tree farm and then I go to one of the advanced smelters, like that's enough of the world that I start getting really bad performance. Yeah, like even Alt F4ing, it's still not actually closed. Hasn't been too bad for you, Latoro. Other players are reporting similar issues. Just interesting. It's again, I don't like crapping on the devs because they're trying. I know they're a small team and this is a very ambitious game, but oh my God, this performance is bad. Like this computer is less than a year old. And it doesn't have a ton of RAM, but Anyway, is what it is. This is worse. Like this is worse than last server for me. Like I know it's early access, but performance shouldn't be getting worse, especially when their last series of actual patches were supposed to be performance related patches, right? Like, and it's not like there's a ton of debris around in the world. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. And yeah, I'm still. How long ago did I hit Alt F4? It's still it still hasn't happened. Can I even Alt Tab? I can't even Alt Tab. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Smaller map builder builds closer together is trying to load a bunch. Maybe I mean maybe, but like even just going to my tree farm, which is like I notice performance getting worse, right? Usually tree farm and back is fine, but if I go anywhere else, like if I go to Kitty's to buy food, or if I go up to the desert and hit up either Calorie Damo or Jasper for smelted stuff, forget about it. Yeah, I mean Punch is over there too, Rico. It's definitely my computer. I'll have to go in and try to figure out what. But like I restarted the computer half an hour before stream started. I didn't open anything other than Discord, Firefox, Eco, Steam, and OBS, my recording software. I did not open anything that I didn't need. Right. So there's something that's being some program that's going on startup. That's a problem. Oh, I definitely don't have that much RAM, unfortunately. Yeah. So Alt F4 doesn't even make it any faster for me. What if I'll Control Delete and bring up Task Manager? All right, Cal. I'll probably still trying to get out and back in. I might have to upgrade my RAM too. I think I have 32 gigs. I know, I mean, like I said, computer's a little less than a year old. Or I guess it's getting close to a year old. The RAM was like the RAM was the one thing I considered getting more of. Yeah, if you don't travel, it's fine. It's fine for me too if I don't travel, but I find I have to travel a lot. Or the other problem is if I want to go cut down trees, I got to go somewhere where there's fully grown trees, right? Um, and that means loading a new part of the map, right? And if anybody wants charcoal for their stuff, I'm gonna try to keep charcoal in stock, but you might. It would help if you sold me wood, just logs, just on unprocessed wood. I can turn that into char. It's like so like for 200 charcoal, which is what you can put in a machine. That's 700 logs is needed to make 200 charcoal. Just to put it into perspective on why it's hard to keep a ton of charcoal in stock. Yay! It closed finally. But yeah, so if you look here, it says I'm at 95% memory and a lot of it. Like why do I have Xbox Game Bar in the background? Anyway, I'll have to I'll go through that and deal with that. But even still, it's using 8 gigs of RAM eco, right? That's a lot. Something else is obviously using a lot too. Anyway, I'm not going to spend stream trying to figure that out. I will try to figure it out later. Let's get back into eco here. Oh, 700 logs? Yeah, for 200 or 200 charcoal, it's 750. Yeah, I finally closed the game. It only took like 5 minutes. Of course, Steam still thinks it's running, so I can't actually get back in yet. Somebody else mentioned Occupy Mars, Rico. If that's the one I'm thinking of, it had really mixed reviews at the start. A lot of people said it wasn't good or wasn't in a good space. We can kind of see my green screen's not working really good down in this corner here. Look at that. I might have to adjust that. I have more than 8 gigs RAM. I know I do. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Steam here. Steam thinks Eco's still running. There we go. Yay. Coming back in. Sunken Land. Now that is a game I don't think I've heard of. I'll have to check that one out at some point. All right, so I've been streaming for what, an hour? See if we can get through another hour without that. If that happens again, that's going to be the end of stream. But hopefully I can find some stuff to do around home, cut down some trees, maybe. Maybe show off. I mean, the thing is, I have a bunch of neighbors, but Ishmael and Brokeeper are the only ones that are still active. It's using 20 gigs without you traveling, but it tells me 8 gigs. Why? Why is this so bad? Like, I don't understand. Anyway, it is what it is. Somebody said something in, I think it was Discord. What is my render distance at? Yeah, well, look, if anybody can tell me anything that's wrong here or anything that's potentially causing me issues. You mean view distance? 140, which is like middle of the slider. I know one thing is target frame rate. I think that stays at, or that starts at, you got to, if you don't set that to 60, that can cause problems. Turning down the render scale. Let's render scale. Let's use a lower resolution while technically keeping your native resolution going. Playing at a 75% render scale will lower the load in your GPU. But it's not the GPU that's causing me problems. It's RAM, right? And it's worth a shot though, right? Put this down to 75, I guess. Couldn't hurt. Because this isn't what I have is not working, clearly. Right? Anyway. Oh, the lighting looked really weird. Phil's reinforced concrete looked like wood. Is that just I don't know if Phil's still watching, but is this just painted reinforced concrete, Phil? Yes. I guess I could just check myself. Nice. That adds something to it though, right? That's the thing with reinforced concrete. It can look so plain and drab, right? So using that little bit of painted stuff, definitely good. So yeah, so Punch was right. I did oil drill in server 7, so it was like server 1, 3, 4, and 7. I oil drilled 4 of my first 7 servers. Cypher Wolf, if you're watching now, we've this is gonna be a problem. A fully loaded truck, a fully loaded steam truck can fit under here, but a fully loaded truck is one higher. We don't think it's gonna fit under that. Just FYI, even if you just push the ramp back or your part back, it should be fine. But yeah, it's funny. Like I have all these neighbors, but the majority of them aren't playing anymore. Like Vitco here, Z Simone up there, the Big Monkeys over there, Doc Cowvets over there. I don't think any of them are active anymore. Ishmael still is, Brokeeper still is, but that's it. Let's go take a look at Brokeeper's place here. This is who I usually go to for food since he's right here. I try to hit up all the cooks at least once a day each, which would be Cypher, Kitty, and Ange. When I say cooks, I mean cook, bake, or whatever. But I like this. I like the little fence, the angle stuff, then the crushed stone. It's like a gravel for the store. Brokeeper's Bites, which Brokeeper. Oh, did he misspell his own name? I feel like Brokeeper always does Brokeeper's Bites, doesn't he? I know like server 9 he did for sure. Maybe not. Maybe I'm imagining things. Vegetable soup tastes bad. Autumn stew tastes horrible, which is too bad because autumn stew's it's a good food to like because it's a lot of calories and it's fairly balanced amongst the nutrients. You know what I mean? But yeah, most Bro Keeper Traker for life. I hate those things. We've been over that though. Isn't there somebody who lived over here? Curly Zombie. Curly Zombie's also gone inactive. He always does at least campfire cooking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Thor. Oh, and if anybody's wondering, I addressed this in like our eco admin channel on Discord, but I haven't talked about this amongst everybody. The spoilage. So it was not my intention to have spoilage active on the server. For anybody who's not aware, we used spoilage on server 9. Nobody liked it. So I went into the settings and I just like increased um the durability factor. That's not the right word, but I increased the durability factor. I forget what it actually is by 10. So it made, instead of food lasting 3 days, it lasted 30 days. So I basically turned off spoilage for last server, and everybody was like, yay, no more spoilage. Um, and the thing was, I tried to do it myself, but Edible had to help me do it. Now, Edible's not really around anymore. He's busy with real life stuff. Um, so I didn't even realize that spoilage would be back on. I think spoilage came back on because I switched the server over to the play test there like last month so we could all try the boats and all that, but it was just a buggy, unplayable mess. I think when I switched it back to the normal live update, what it did was it reverted that file that Edible had altered back to normal. So it put spoilage back to what it normally is. And I didn't realize that was going to be the case. Right? So yeah, I want to see how many calories does 200 barrels cost? So I could try, excuse me, I could try to remove spoilage again. But the problem is I would have to take the server down to do it, right? I would have to take the server down. I would have to alter that file locally, then upload it and replace the file that exists. But the problem was, like, I know what I'm supposed to do, but I couldn't get it to work last time. Edible had to do it for me, and Edible's not here to do it for me this time. I'm also scared, what if I screw it up and it like screws up everything? Right? So for the people who hate spoilage, I hate it too, but I'm hesitant to try to remove it. Now, next server, I will find a way to make sure there's no spoilage, right? But I want to do it before we start because I don't want to screw up. I don't want to potentially screw it up mid run, right? Ooh, do I like? Ooh, papooses being good is nice because I find it can be hard to stay balanced. And a lot of times when you come out of balance, protein and vitamins are the two things that you need. And to my knowledge, at least, papooses are the only food that vitamins and protein are the two highest. So I greatly prefer runs that my character likes papooses. I find it much easier to keep your food balanced if you like papooses. It's funny, like as we just talked about, my house bonus is kind of crap right now. So yeah, so I don't know if anybody really noticed how much food I had to eat just to make 200 barrels. It was kind of insane, right? All right, so let's check the old story here. All right, so still got some basic tables. We got two kitchens. I don't know. So if you're an advanced cook, you're going to need a kitchen, but this also does make your kitchen better for your house. Okay, so we got a few ice boxes still. I'm out of most furniture. I got a bit of furniture. I got some shelf cabinets, a dresser, fabric bed. I'm out of hewn logs. I know Tarudin needed a bunch of hewn logs, but I think what he needed them for, he's good. He doesn't need any more. If anybody ever wants hardwood or softwood hewn logs or hardwood or softwood lumber, let me know. I've just been doing the default, hewn logs and lumber. You didn't mind the whatchamacallit, spoilage. You were a control cook. You didn't have much waste. Yeah, I think it seemed like food prices were really high that server, which brought up all the other prices, right? And I don't know. Server 9 was one of my least favorite servers, but it wasn't so much for me personally. It wasn't so much because of the spoilage. It was just more because I was really burnt out on eco at that time and I needed the break. Um, like I don't know if anybody remembers. I didn't play a whole lot on server 9. Um, I have some large lumber stockpiles. I got a silo. I do have 100 charcoal. Ooh, all right. So I made 2 large lumber doors today, and they're already sold. Does anybody else want a large lumber door while I'm here? I'm gonna make one for sure, so I have one in stock. But if anybody else wants one, I can make it now. Ooh, do I have any signs? Do I have 2 signs? Standing signs. Maybe I should get some hanging signs. I will have to add that. Sign. Oh, there's a lot of signs. Large. Hanging. Oh my god, there's still a ton. Large hanging birds. So I want just plain lumber. Good lumber. There we go. Not down there. Right there. I'm assuming it was the same materials as the standing sign. What's the price of gas? Oh, I haven't even calculated price for oil stuff yet, Rico. I mean, there's no use for gas yet, right? Yeah, maybe Thorgrim. I don't know. I'm just going off my memory. But again, I didn't play a whole lot that server, so I can't really. I do remember people complaining about prices. But like weren't you just a baker though? Like baking and advanced baking? Maybe the cook stuff was, I don't know. I just know people complained. And most people blamed it on spoilage. I mean, I don't hate it this run. Don't get me wrong. I've had stuff spoil. I got 300 and more than 339. But a lot of this stuff is like seeds and stuff. I have 350 spoiled food right now. Like these are gonna go bad soon. I only got one of those. That's fine. Worldwide is looking for limestone. Yeah, I don't know what the price of gas is going to be, Rico. Gas is always going to be expensive though, because unlike this stuff, epoxy, plastic, and stuff, you don't get any barrels back. So you're looking at 4 barrels, right? Or well, 9, I guess, because I have the 10%. So I'm gonna say 6 to 8 at least dollars for gas. But I see you're looking for it, Rico, but it's gonna need to be more than one kitten. Um, what do you need it for already? Or are you just planning for the future? Or maybe do you have, or is the gas generator possible to have now? You started with baking, you added cooking towards it. Okay. I know when I went cook, I went all 5 eventually. But it's easy to have a pretty good XP bonus when you're cooked too, right? Um, yeah, I'll have to calculate gas. So, or for oil products. So basically, oil products, it's based off the cost of iron largely, but also food, right? Because you need, like I said, as I just showed, you need a ton of food. Because you need a ton of food for barrels. It's for the future. Okay, I'll get some eventually, but because you need a bunch of calories for the barrels. Then you need calories to fill the barrels. Then you need calories for this step, right? So it's 3 steps where you're burning calories. This one's not too bad. So for one, to make a barrel is 180. To fill it is 60. So that's 240 calories, right? And then it's 2 to make. So to make one epoxy, it's 4. So it's 240 times 4 is 480. And then 90. So it's like 500 and some calories to make one single epoxy. But then you also get the barrels back, right? So that's why it's hard to calculate gas prices. Because you only lose 1 barrel. But anyway, I'll figure it out later. I'm not gonna. Maybe I'll talk to Monkey Prime and we'll figure something out. They're gonna start a little high. That will come down once the better modules come out. I think module 2, I usually use $1 per 1,000 calories myself. But I know a lot of people do higher than that. But I usually do $1 per 1,000. So it's easily 50 cents just for calories, right? And then the iron, then you get back. But the iron's pretty cheap this run, right? Like iron's 1.6 already. Usually when oil drilling starts, iron's higher than that. So I don't know. If I had to guess, the price of epoxy and plastic and stuff will start probably around 2 or 3, and it'll fall to like 1.5 as time goes on. That's me making a guess. I don't know, Calorie, are you there? Do you remember? Calorie said he was leaving to do yard stuff. He might not be there, but do you remember what you charged for stuff last run? I feel like it was 1.5 once you got the best upgrades, right? But food is I'm surprised food is this cheap this time with spoilage. I don't know how much food. Maybe the cooks aren't having much spoilage. Like how much stock does Cypher have? 48 of that, 20, 50, 14. He's got a lot of some stuff. That price. Oh, I guess you were an oil driller last time too, right? Yeah. So I'm thinking probably like, and Monkey, don't feel obligated to match me necessarily because it's hard for me to do prices because so here's the thing with my prices. I try to keep them low because I don't do big crazy builds. So I don't have a lot to spend my money on late game. So I typically end up really rich. So I try to keep my profit margins low. Plus, I can get away with that because, oh, this is bothering me. My green screen is really not doing good today. You see these little down here? Anyway, I'm going to get business. People are going to come to me because I'm the server owner, I'm the YouTuber, whatever, whichever. People are going to come to me, right? So I can afford to price my stuff lower. I'm still going to make money through volume because I have that advantage of being the server owner, being the YouTuber. The problem is, though, if I do that, if I price myself low, so for this run, Monkey Prime and I have the exact same skills, right? So if I price everything low, I'm potentially screwing Monkey Prime over, right? If I go too low, because he's not going to probably necessarily get the volume. We're twinsies, yeah. You're not going to get the volume that I do because people are going to come to me. Although I will say this, my location is not great, right? So you actually might be fine. You might actually, I don't have a great location because like most of my neighbors aren't actually playing. I guess Russ is over here. But I wouldn't even consider Enrico's here, but I wouldn't consider either one of them a close neighbor. And there's not a good road going this way, right? You can only really get to my house from one direction right now, right? But anyway, so I try not to price too high because I don't want to be greedy. Because I hate it when I look like it's late game and I look at my bank account and I have like 10,000. Well, we usually use loonies for currency because that's the nickname for the Canadian dollar, and I'm Canadian. Plus, it has Lou in it, Lou, Chara, loonies. Anyway, if I say loonies, just pretend I'm saying kittens because they're basically the same. But yeah, I hate looking at my bank account end game and I have like 10,000 loonies, and I'm like kittens. I'm like, what do I do with this? I don't want to sit on all this money, but I'm not really a big builder. So then I price low, but then, people that I compete with or people that are in the same space, they're like, all the kittens are loonies. Exactly, Calorie. I don't want to price people out that are in the same skills as me, but Monkey Prime says he hasn't a problem with it. But I mean, there's just the two of us, Monkey, too, I think, right? If there was a third of us, it might be an issue. I know Philosopher King is also in Wood, and he was busy with real life and he couldn't get on, but I thought he said he was going to be on a bunch on the weekend, but I haven't really seen him. No, okay, so yeah, Philosopher King has not been on. And again, that's fine, it happens. But Calorie, does that price sound right to you? About 1.5 for plastic and epoxy? Once you had the better modern upgrades? Is that what you were charging? 1.5 or maybe 1.2 even? I should remember. I was your main customer. That seems fine, yeah. I feel like that's where we'll land. Obviously, it'll start a bit higher because we only got modern upgrade ones right now. And thank you, Damo Kun 79 for making those for me this morning. But I think the modern upgrade 2 is industry, I think. Yes. And the modern upgrade 3, I believe, will be me and Monkey as composites, I think, right? Yes, that's composites. And then modern upgrade 4 is electronics, so that'll be Phil again. But that'll be that's not going to be today, let's just say. Oh, and Phil, if you're watching, Monkey and I are going to need advanced carpentry tables. I don't know. Am I going to use 1 or 2? I don't know if anybody other than the two of us is doing composites, though, Phil. You probably only need a couple of those. But I know there's not enough steel right now. There's not a lot of steel bars out there right now, Phil. So whenever you can. I know I'm trying to not overload Phil because he's the only industry person, and I know what that can be like. Because last run there was like it was just me and Bori, and Bori plays a lot on the weekends, but he's very casual during the week. So like during the week, I was like just I felt so overworked. There was a couple other people that were electronics, but like the industry stuff and the mechanics stuff, think I think Rico was mechanics, but like it was pretty much just me for industry last run. It got pretty stressful at times. Yeah, you think it always starts at two and eventually gets down to one when the food doesn't matter? Well, that's true too. Well, that's the other thing. I guess you could argue with food. I should probably just be buying cheap food because I already have my fourth star. I'm getting a fifth star in, well, 3 days basically. Um, I don't even have a plan for that fifth star, right? I was just planning logging, carpentry, oil drilling, composites. All right. See you, Thorgrim. Have a good sleep. You work tonight. Well, hopefully you have a quick and painless shift. Hopefully you're getting time and a half or double time since it's the holiday down there. Well, I'm assuming you're American. Although, of course, if it's tonight, I'm trying to remember when I used to work a job with night shifts. I'm pretty sure it was a holiday if you started the shift on a holiday. Oh, it's a holiday in Norway too. Okay. It's not in Canada. We had our holiday last weekend, last Monday. Let's go see what Russ and Rico are cooking up over here. Yeah, we got this is I believe this is the Big Monkey's place. Big Monkey's played on a few servers. I'm kind of sad that he didn't really. Oh, it's unclaimed. Well, that's just somebody told me it was unclaimed. I'm assuming he did that intentionally because he's not around. This was the Big Monkeys though, right? I'm pretty sure. Keep going. We got Doc Calvet, who I think isn't around anymore. I haven't seen him in a few days at least. I know he was planning, yeah, yeah, almost 4 days. He was planning to do industry, but I feel like I think he like wanted to be the only mechanic, which, if I'm being honest, is kind of a crappy attitude to have. And then when Phil and Nobro both also took mechanics, I don't think he liked that. I don't know if he's watching. He can. If I'm wrong, he can tell me. But that was my impression of it. I could be wrong. Anyway, so he hasn't been around. So yeah, like, is there even a road to Russ? Like, can Russ and Rico, can you guys even get a car to me? Like, this road doesn't really seem to go anywhere. Are you working on this road right now, Russ? Yes, that's another issue, Calorie. Like, and I want to expand on that a bit. The whole, it's one thing to say, like if you're super busy all the time, or if you're super online every day, you're playing, either you work from home and you can be logged in all the time, or you don't have a job and you're logged in all the time, and you say, look, I want to be the main mechanic, right? I want to be the one that people come to. That's an okay attitude. But if you have a full-time job that takes you out of your house, plus you're on call, which like Doc Calvet here, his name is Doc Calvet because he's a vet, right? And he literally has emergency calls where he has to go. If that's your situation and you say, I want to be the only mechanic, it's kind of a red flag to me, right? Plus, it's like, well, what if somebody else wants to be a mechanic? Do they not get to have fun? Do they not to get to do what they want to do? You know what I mean? Anyway, he said that in voice one night, and it kind of bothered me, but I didn't say anything. I guess I'm saying something now while he's not here because I'm a coward. Um, but anyway, is what it is. People with that attitude though that want to like dominate a market, generally I find they're not a good fit on my server. All right, so this is Republic of Raider. Oh, he's not playing though. Yeah. Republic of Raider had issues with some other players and is not playing. There's old Rico. So this is Russ's town. Ooh, I like mortared limestone. I'm a big fan of mortared limestone. I'm a sucker for it. I know you don't really have anything in here right now, Russ, but I'm a sucker for mortared limestone. Yeah, you're a mason. What, mason and a miner? I think. I like how you have like a little complex. You have like a little building for each of your little things. Yeah. And quarry, yep. Ah, man. Anytime I'm a glass worker or a mason, that's one tip I'll give people. If you're a mason or a glass worker, build close to the beach and make yourself a sand quarry like this. Because the thing is too, if you dig down further, I can't dig, he claimed it, but I just wanted to dig and then put it back so I could show. Anyway, if you dig down, there's usually limestone down there, which is what you need as a glass worker, right? You've been busy this run. Yeah, hey, man, it happens. Life happens. All right, let's head out to Rico's now. I think he's over here. Now, I think Rico at least can go this way, right? He can reach the world via this bridge, which... Is this brick or is this mortar sandstone? They fixed how long it takes to paint concrete. Oh, that's good. It's just seconds. Yeah. I mean, brick was obviously always super quick. Holy crap, Rico's got a whole country out here. Oh, I have been out here, Rico, but not lately. You've been busy, my friend. Crap. Oh yeah, modern. See, so for anybody who doesn't know, anybody can make mortar stone, as we had this conversation before. But this mortar stone, mortar limestone, mortar sandstone, you need to be a mason to make these, and I do think they look way better. Is this granite or is this just mortar stone? So that's just the base mortar stone that anybody can make. But this stuff and this stuff only a mason can make. And there's also mortar granite, which has like it's similar to the mortar stone except it's darker. I don't see any anywhere here. I don't think Rico has used any. Oh, right there. This roof. That's granite. That's granite right there. Mortar granite. So that's mortar stone. That's mortar granite. Man, holy crap. This is a lot of mortar stone, Rico. This is oh, that's just a little bridge. Wait. So is this just you're using whatever, or are you like starting to make like a pixel Mario or something? Does this not look kind of like Mario's eye or something? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing what I want to see. Holy crap, Rico, you've been busy. Jeez. Glassworks. Let's go down. Yep. Okay, yep. Yeah, you've been digging. Man. Oh, holy crap, it never ends. Yeah, water. Yeah, this is what I would call a complex. This is a full complex, Richard. I kind of went with Richard and Rico. For anybody who doesn't know, Richard is Rico in game. So I'm half the time I call him Richard, half the time I call him Rico. And that time I called them recharge because I just said I went with both, a little bit of both. And you've been busy. Yeah, like I said, maybe I need to come over here more often. I did come over here early on, like a couple days in. So I'm assuming this bridge is made of mortared sandstone, not with brick. Yeah. All right, and I'm gonna talk about on ostentatious Uno. Um, I didn't ban him or anything. He left the server. I'm pretty sure he left the Discord. There was an incident. There was an incident with tailings, and it's partially my fault because I need to make a public list of actual rules. There's a ton of stuff that we encourage and discourage on the server, but it's not written down anywhere, and that's my fault. So the general rule on the server is bury your tailings. Now we realize that sometimes, especially in the early game, there's going to be tailings on the surface, sometimes for days at a time. But try to bury your tailings. Now, last server, we let a person, people, I don't know, Calorie, if that was you or Don or both of you, or I don't know. Doesn't matter who did it. I let people get away with having tailings. Um, like they just store them in the ocean. I let them get away with it. That's on me. Um, I shook my head every time I went by it, but I let it happen. So what happened this run is Uno was burying his tailings in the ocean because Uno's first server was last server, and he saw it, and it was all three of you. You tried to clean it and couldn't keep up. Yeah, so they were buried. So Uno started burying his tailings in the ocean. He was literally making a picture with tailings and sand. It's gone now. The tailings aren't here anymore. There was tailings here. Xandra used her admin tool and cleaned them up. I think she said she was gonna. They're not here. I'm assuming she actually did it. People mentioned to Uno that you got to bury your tailings. You got to bury your tailings. He did not react well to being told he needed to bury his tailings. I told him specifically. I said, if you're a miner and you're digging your own iron and making concentrate, I basically said, there's no reason why you can't bury your tailings where your iron was, right? You don't make more tailings than the iron you pull out. And he didn't like that. And then there was a whole other conversation where I wasn't around for about shunning him, and apparently that was the last straw. He left the server. Unfortunate. But I just want to mention, if I can find his iron mine, down here. Like he claimed that he couldn't bury his tailings, right? It's like, my dude, like, this is where his iron was. Absolutely no reason why he couldn't bury his tailings here. I realize it's only 4 high. He would have to dig down 1 layer. There's no reason he couldn't bury his tailings. But again, I didn't ban him. He left. I will say the whole let's shun him campaign, which again, I was out with my family when this whole conversation was going on. That was too much. Let's not do that. But again, at the end of the day, it's my fault because I don't have rules posted. It's the same thing last server with people using 2 accounts, 1 player using 2 accounts. I do technically that's against my rules. I don't do a good job enforcing it. That rule isn't posted anywhere. And that's on me. But please don't play 2 accounts if you're 1 person. And I will say there are two players who have done it this server, I think. I don't know. That's the thing, it's hard to prove, right? It's hard to prove that somebody's multi-counting. Anyway, performance seems to be better. I've been around quite a bit and I haven't, like, it's not a slideshow yet. You can say, where's my truck? But this whole trip I'm on right now was all on foot, right? I haven't been in my truck at all. So let's go over to Ruden's storage facility here. So anyway, bury your tailings. I realize that sometimes it's not convenient to bury your tailings and you put it off and you have some tailings above ground. That's fine. Don't make a picture in the ocean with your tailings, please. Now, I realize pollution doesn't matter. I realize that. But there's just a level where it's like, don't draw pictures with tailings, I guess. Please try to bury them. And I know I'm captain of the pollution doesn't matter team, because it doesn't, but I feel like we're getting into bad habits, right? Let's not get into bad habits in case they ever make pollution actually matter. So, there's no government storage this run. For anybody who doesn't typically play on my servers, which Monkey Prime, I guess Latoro, if you're still watching, usually we have government stores. So like we'd have a couple government stores dotted around the map. So this store buys things that generally aren't wanted: dirt, wood pulp, all the different stone. So the government store buys it and resells it for the same price. If anybody wants it, if anybody does want dirt, you can go get dirt for cheap from the government store. But if stuff isn't wanted and stuff builds up, basically one of the admins would go to the government store with their little dev tool right here, little killer whale. I don't know why the icon is a killer whale for the dev tool. And we would just zap full large lumber stockpiles of crap. We also bought like old stone tools, bought old clothes. We buy compost once compost becomes an issue. But we're not doing that this run, right? We started with no government. So I don't think we're going to have government stores this run. So what Truden did, there's large lumber stockpiles up there as well. He's basically filling the government store role. He's buying your crap. But he's doing a little bit of a markup, right? The government store didn't do a markup. But if you really want to get rid of stuff, you can bring it here. I don't know how much money he's going to make. I don't know what's going to happen when they get full. But for now, at least, you can bring your crap to Truden out here in the desert, which is nice. I don't think Truden is watching, but thank you, Truden, because it kind of helps. And now, like Punch, I don't know if you're still watching Punch, but Punch asked me to go use my development tool to zap some stockpiles full of dirt the other day. And I said no, Punch. And the reason I said no is if I did that for you, I'd have to do it for everybody if they asked. And if I do it for dirt, can I really say no if somebody wants me to go zap a bunch of stone? Right? And basically, I didn't want this to become a thing where us admins are basically on call, trash zappers. I didn't want that to be what happened, right? So I said no. Because once I say yes once, right? You can't really say no in the future once you say yes once. Anyway. So yeah, I need to actually make some rules and enforce them and post them somewhere. Like if you go on my Discord, there's a rule: don't be an asshole and treat others the way you want to be treated, or something like that. That's the only official rule, right? I need to expand on that a bit. All right, so we're at calories plays, and okay, performance is getting bad. Performance is starting to chug a little bit. I figured if I traveled enough, it would start to happen. I need to pick up. You said composites was done, right? Yep, it sure is. So I can take this skill right now. I have the star of it. At one point, I had 2 stars available. And thank you again for doing all the research, Cal. It's nice having it all in one place. And because if you have like private research where, one person does the cooking research because they want to take it. Well, what if that person doesn't want to share the scroll? You're starting to replace the house mats, and eventually the government wants to make it look better. Hey, no rush, man. Have you seen my house? My house is made of hewn logs, and I'm a carpenter. I make lumber, and I haven't even upgraded to lumber yet. So maybe the key is just walking around instead of driving. It's yeah. As I continue to go to new areas, it's getting bad. Oh, so here's some colored bricks. Jasper and Dr. Olacola, who see, and that's the other thing with multi accounts. It's hard to like. I definitely encourage, you know, I just you're not allowed to have a big group of people, but I encourage people of well, married couples, right, can definitely play the game together, or just boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, couples. Oh yeah, Miso's place has a lot of color. Yeah, let's go that way after this. Um, but Jasper and Dr. Olacola are a couple that have been playing since server 5, I want to say. They've been around the block. Ooh, yeah, and Damo and Darf's place over here is looking pretty bricky. Nice. All right, yeah, Miso's has got a lot. I do remember seeing Miso's place. So let's go look at that. And that brings me back close to home as well. I've gone all around the world, basically. Well, yeah, we're down to like what, 30 active players or so at this point. 29. But of these 29 people, almost every one of these players, with a couple of exceptions, are people that have played on multiple ones on my server, and I know they're not going anywhere, right? We may end up down to 25 active people. May even get down to 20 at some point, but those 20 people, I know we're going to be here till the meteor gets shot down. And that should be enough. And I'll have a free star in a couple days if I need to take an extra skill to help out, help fill a gap, right? I can definitely do that. And I'm sure other people will be getting extra stars too, right? Because I mean, well, we saw monkeys. we saw a monkey, or monkey said his house XP bonus. I'm sure there are people that have higher than 147, right? What happened there? All right. Oh yeah, Miso's definitely got some color in her house. Yeah, aside from like Monkey Prime, is this your first one of my servers? Yeah, I want to say it is, but I'm not sure. But like Monkey Prime, Ange, Weldwide, and Cypher Wolf are new to my server. Everybody else, pretty much, that's still active are people that have played on a bunch of my servers. Oh yeah, Miso's just going crazy with the color. Yeah, so if you want to see what all the different color bricks are, you can just come to Miso's place because she's got pretty much all. I've never seen anybody do this though. Just a random, patchwork tapestry, I guess you would call this. I did have I had a black and yellow house a few servers ago. Server 8, I think it was. Because those are my favorite hockey team's colors. Oh, it's got all white over here. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Miso's probably a potter. I'm pretty sure she is. Oh, she definitely is. I know she is. Because she's made a lot of bricks. Nice. But yeah, so I know they're pollution's tricky because ultimately in 11 servers I've never seen pollution actually matter, except or on a global scale. Obviously, there's been situations where a farmer's had their fields get ruined. I remember there was one run. Oh, server 7 when Punch met. Yeah, there's Kitty. How you doing, Kitty? Good morning. Punch mentioned when I was an oil driller. I remember it was like in the rainforest, and somebody, I think it was Tarudin, it might not have been, but somebody had a like a pineapple and mango farm near me, and I was scared I was going to ruin it with my with my oil setup. So I I put my steam engine as far from his farm as I could. I think it was Truden. Um, I dumped my waste through a waste filter away from him. I made sure to not run it. I'd run it for a couple hours, then let it sit, and then run it for a couple hours and let it sit. So I didn't want to overly pollute his farm, and I think I managed it. I don't think I wrecked his farm. Um, Kitty, I had a question earlier in stream. I was over in your valley there. It's Dark Val Valley. What's the Val stand for? Because in my mind, oh, you want an elevator call post? I can make an elevator call post. Because in my mind, Valley stands or Val stands for Valley. Did you miss anything good? We need four. Uh, so yeah, my Kitty, my question is it Dark Valley Valley or what does or is Val just Val? Oh my god, okay, a lot of people need elevator call posts. All right, so I'm gonna queue up the 8 that people asked for me, plus 2 extras. So before for Rico, 4 for Damo, and then 2 left over. Well, at one point, Kitty, I my performance got really, really bad. I had to like quit out of the game, and it took me nearly 5 minutes to actually quit out of the game. Because yeah, my computer was like, nope, not today, Luch. Oh, Dark Val is just a random word I came up with for the dark. Okay, there you go. There's your answer, or my answer. I guess I was the one who was curious. um. Oh yeah, I just remembered I need to redo this. Nah. Oh well, that'll give me something to do this evening. Dark Valheim Valley. There you go, Punch. Punch thinks Valheim when he sees that. Did anybody sell me logs today? Oh, performance get bad again. No. All right, so today's stream, I know it's a Monday. Technically, this is Saturday stream because I didn't stream on Saturday because I was busy with family stuff. I didn't stream yesterday because I felt like a bag of crap, and I just wanted to get the tree farm and stuff done. And because let's be honest, when I stream, I'm distracted and I don't actually ever get anything done. So today is actually Saturday stream. So in theory, I'm supposed to stream tomorrow. I probably will. If not, I'll stream Wednesday. I might do Monday, Wednesday, Friday instead this week. I don't know. I should probably try to keep to an actual streaming schedule. Also, Saturday night, gonna do Jackbox party games. I don't know if you don't know what that is, it's basically it's a party game where I share my screen. Obviously, I'm just gonna stream it on YouTube, and then everybody plays like you play on your phone. So there'll be like a question. Oh the hell! Look at the green screen on my phone. Yeah. There'll be like a question. You try to come up with a funny answer or whatever. So you put it on your phone, and then everybody votes on it or whatever. Valpire did nothing other than a cool sound. Valley was tacked on because, well, I'm in a valley. All right. So you decided on Val before you found out you were in a valley, which is why there's a double Val. Is what we're. Yeah, Saturday night we're gonna do Jackbox. I know I had one of these scheduled like 2 months ago, and then it never actually happened. But because the problem with Jackbox, like if I stream Eco or some other random game, and there's nobody there at the start of the stream, it doesn't matter because I'll just play and I'll talk. Right? As if like because I do let's plays, right? If nobody's in the stream talking, I just treat it like it's a let's play, right? But the problem with Jackbox, it's a multiplayer only game. If nobody's there at the start of the stream, I just kind of sit there, right? Anyway, I managed to get through 2 hours almost. I only had to restart my client once. It only took 5 minutes to do so, give or take. The elevator call posts are coming for whoever asked for them. Oh man, I'm gonna have to queue up more BU3s at some point. I queued up. If you look up there, I queued up 100 when I set up the auto, and it's down to 28. I might have to queue up more. No, it'll be an evening stream, Kitty. It'll be like a 8 o'clock Eastern time, probably, which is like your Pacific, right? So that's like 5 o'clock for you. The only problem with that is the people in Europe can't really come because it starts like midnight or later for them, right? The Jackbox has always been an evening thing. I imagine that'll be the case again. Yeah, that's really all. Anybody have any questions for me before I go? So I'm gonna have to fix my oil platform. Gonna have to start getting a bigger workshop ready for composites. It's funny how it's called composites, but the table's an advanced carpentry table. Am I the only one who thinks that's weird? I don't know. You'll be there for sure. All right. Well, at the very least, Kitty, you and I can start because I think some of the games need more than two, but some of them you can definitely play with only two. But it's good because even though it's a multiplayer game, only I need to own it. Everybody else just plays along on their phone, which is pretty cool. Other than elevator call posts, is do I need to make anything? Ashlar, but the skill is called advanced masonry, right? Like the composite skill, it's not advanced carpentry, it's composites, right? So it's like, yeah, so an advanced mason at an advanced masonry table makes ashlar. A composites person at an advanced carpentry table makes composites. Who is going to make skid steer? I assume you're asking for Rico. That'd be Phil once the time comes. Yeah, they need to work on their naming. I agree, Kitty. But it is what it is. So yeah, there are Mr. Sneaky. When's the last time Mr. Sneaky has been out for 5 days? There are other loggers. Who is George? I do not recall seeing George ever. Where's George Tropolis? That is where. Oh, over by Blackout. I did not know that somebody named George logged in. Yeah, it's still days before skids. Advanced tailoring is just tailoring. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they would need to rework. Oh, Blackout's going with his tractor. Did they fix this? Um can you fix your own farming implements, tractor implements, Blackout, or do you need Phil to do it still? That was annoying last run. Every day I log in, there'd be a bunch of broken farm equipment I had to fix every single day. No. Yeah, and you need advanced. Yeah, we're days from skids yet. Yeah, and I mean is Ishmael our only active tailor right now? I feel like the other ones aren't around anymore. No, Ishmael is definitely the only active tailor, and he needs a tier 3 workshop, which I don't believe he has. Oh yeah, we need. Yeah, we're nowhere near. Like Phil doesn't even have any of the stuff made yet, right? Because there's no steel until the advanced smelters can feed Phil a ton of steel. Then we can start actually getting stuff. So yeah, so Ishmael needs a tier 3 workshop, right? But I mean that's low on our list of priorities ultimately. Anyway, all right. So nobody needs anything else specific right now. Elevator call posts. It's 11 minutes for 6 more of them, Damo. So your 4 should be ready in 7 or 8 minutes. I don't think anybody has a hidden base with 10,000 steel in it. Punch. There's like 4 advanced smelters. Damo, Jasper, Dr. Rokola, and Worldwide, I believe. Oh, there's 2 more other than those 4. Those are the 4 highest. Oh, Calorie did end up. I didn't realize you ended up taking it, Cal. And Bach and Forth, but I think Bach and Forth's not expecting to be on a whole lot. Because he told me straight up he was only going to be playing casually this server. Yes, Black and Out, I agree that if the iron or steel whetstones can fix the farm equipment. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It was just annoying. I'm sure it was annoying for the farmers too, right? That's the thing. That's the thing about the whetstones. It's better for the customer and it's easier for the smelter, right? That's why I like whetstone so much. Now, I think you can make the argument that the smelters don't make quite as much of a profit off of it, but it makes their life a lot easier, right? There's nothing like logging in and having just chests full of broken tools that you got to fix, right? That's pretty annoying. Anyway, I made it my 2 hours. Oh, a lot of stuff. I'm going to spot a lot of furniture. That's going to be all for today, folks. Thanks for coming out. Remember to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. But most importantly, be good to each other. Have a great day. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.